So I don't get to talk about space all that often. I mean, there are routine things that go on, like SpaceX launches a new satellite for some company or sends something up to the ISS. But, and here's the thing, rarely is it that some new innovation changes our life down here, or the world in some manner down here. And there's this new company called Swarm Technologies, and they kind of live by the whole ask for forgiveness, not for permission kind of thing. And so they were sending some satellites up there before the FCC told them, you're all clear. So some people think it's the only way to get stuff done these days. But the reason they were sending up satellites is because they want to create an extremely huge network of 150 satellites that allow middle of nowhere objects, literally middle of nowhere objects, to connect to the internet. Imagine you want to set up some random camera for whatever reason in the middle of the Amazon, or drop a sensor in the middle of the ocean that reads the temperature to you because you just want to know the temperature in the middle of the ocean at a random spot. Well, these things aren't really close to an internet connection. So it can be hard to connect to them. It could be very expensive to connect to them. But imagine there's a satellite or a group of satellites right above that allow you to make a connection so long as your connection doesn't require a lot of bandwidth. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're creating this huge network of 150 satellites, and they actually got the approval now, so they're able to do that. I'm really curious about who the customers are going to be for this, what it's going to be used for. Is it going to be very silent and used by people with very specific use cases, or by something else, people who are part of the general public and not just innovators or researchers or whatever. So that's really awesome. These satellites are these tiny little things called space bees, and they're pretty much only as big as they need to be. The value that Swarm brings is not in the size of these things, but in the amount of these things. I guess that's why they're called Swarm, because they want so many of these satellites up there that the odds are no matter where your device is, it will probably find one of these a couple 100,000 feet above it. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea what the different orbit levels are for space. I'm probably going to look that up at some point. But yeah, let me know what new space innovations you're following, what you wish we would do with space more, whether it's even worth it to do anything with space. Building companies center around providing value for people. And one of the only things I can imagine that we haven't really done yet is sending people up there for fun, for tourism. Asteroid mining, terraforming, all that stuff is going to come later eventually, but space tourism, that's a big one that's kind of overdue. See you guys next time.